Welcome to Conversations with K and J. We're your hosts, Kayla and Janae.
And here we talk about love, life,
and lessons learned. Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of Daily Doses of Conversations with Kayla
and Janae.
Today's energy is based around attention. Why do we equate success with fame, power, and attention? If we do something notable, why do we desire another person's validation to be seen and heard? This isn't a bad thing, but as humans, we should become mindful of our intention behind attention. Our journey to success is a lonely one if we constantly seek approval. But it doesn't have to be lonely if we give our journey our own attention and learn to celebrate ourselves. So, this is making me feel kind of like our daily doses.
Yeah.
We're starting from scratch.
Right.
And we have been mentally challenging ourselves to really build it up from nothing, without the validation of people and things that we may have been looking for at some point within our journey. And I feel like, personally speaking, like posting it on Instagram, on my personal Instagram, and seeing the lack of like reciprocation back from people in a sense, you know, it made me kind of feel like, dang, like no one supports us. But the whole point is to do it for ourselves, because we are committed to doing it and knowing that we're doing it to bring in newness and attract new people and new things, and we shouldn't be looking for that validation or acceptance within old places and spaces and people that we have just authentically evolved and outgrown.
Right. I feel like we are doing it because we enjoy it for ourselves as much as we talk with each other and have these conversations, and like it's for us first, but we also know it's something that is needed, you know,
within the community,
for the rest of the world, right?
Yeah.
For everybody else.
Yeah.
But not out of validation, just because it's like, who doesn't need to talk about, you know, love and life and spirituality? Like, we need that for ourselves every day. So this is why we do it every day.
Right. And it's just like I say on the channel, it doesn't go without saying that these are not things that you're not going to be worried or concerned about, but it's about trusting in the belief that God has put on your heart that you are meant to be in this place, space, doing this thing or becoming this person that you are, because it's going to get you to whatever it is that you are manifesting or want to see for yourself. And like I said, that is really going to be a moment where you may feel abandoned, neglected, alone, and just questioning yourself from one day to the next. But as you stay committed to yourself and what it is that you're building and creating, you're going to really see results from that in a way that you never expected, right? So that kind of brings in this energy of the King of Pentacles. Now, we spoke about the King of Pentacles in our last episode, but that was in the sense of not letting other things and people who bring in heaviness or burdens come in to burden what you have built or created for yourself. This is speaking on energy that's coming in to bring you the success or the fulfillment that you're seeking, and not getting carried away with the materialistic side of things to where you start removing your emotions or your care for others, care or consideration for others within the process.
Right.
So with this King of Pentacles, when you think about building and creating and having more over time, what comes to mind?
Building and creating things for yourself, not in spite of others. in genuinely doing something for you and not to get revenge or not to like in hopes that you can include other people. It's doing it for you.
Yeah.
And building a foundation that doesn't affect someone else's.
Right. Because even if you build the most successful business, if it is coming from the wrong place or for the wrong reasons, you're still not going to have that balance or that fulfillment that you truly seek from it. It's just going to be another thing that you've checked off of your list,
right,
instead of really gotten to thoroughly enjoy the experience or the process of it. And I feel like this is kind of something that we've been talking about. I'm going to turn it for a minute, but how people build their identity or this false sense of self based off of their success or achievements that are not even like authentic to them. Does that make sense?
In what way?
You know how we were saying, like there's some people on the internet who just want to claim that they're about something or that they're doing things because they know that it gets a lot of attention and that like gives them this false sense of success of
So like those relationships who like only come together because they got success around their relationship. Like
yes,
they got on the internet, it blew up, and then it was being phony and started to do things in a skit,
right,
instead of like being genuinely doing things with each other.
Yeah, it lacks the emotional fulfillment within it. Yesterday I got on YouTube and it was, I don't know his name because he came up on my like For You page or trending page, and it was a black father who has a family channel, and he made a video and said that his kids asked him to no longer include them in the vlogs, like they didn't want to be a part of it anymore, just because I guess they were growing up and realizing that that's not something that they just wanted people to know.
Right.
And so he made one video and it was explaining that, and you know, everybody in the comments was like, you're a great father for acknowledging how they feel and being mindful of that. And then he posted another video where he set the kids down. He didn't show them on camera, but he explained to them, well, I took down the videos that you guys asked me to take down, but I want you to know that this really is going to affect, you know, our views and our money. So then he kind of put the pressure on them of letting them know, well, because you don't want to participate in this anymore, it now affects our money within the home. And it kind of put the weight on them to kind of guilt trip them in a sense of continuing to build what he...
Right. So he built something around them, really, without building something around himself, so that at the end of the day, it would still just be about him and what he created.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he, like, I guess in a soft way, tried to manipulate them in a sense and let them know, well, you know, if you guys don't show up on these videos, people are not going to be clicking, and then that's going to start affecting our money and our life, and we're not going to be able to do all the things that we normally do. And so I think that that is something that you also have to pay attention to when you're starting to build and create things. Like, everyone really has to be on the same page.
Right.
And when we get into like this Queen of Cups energy, it's really trusting your intuition and your guidance, because when you wipe a slate clean, again, you're starting with nothing but the knowledge and understanding of what you just left behind. And so the only thing that really is coming into play within this episode per se is this Six of Pentacles energy of making sure that you remain in a balanced place with people who are equally as balanced as you,
right,
or you're going to throw the alignment off of everything. And collectively, we have been talking about these new beginnings and these new opportunities that are coming to you, and within your choices, you have to be in this place of making sure that you remain aligned and balanced so you don't get lost in the sauce per se, or you don't start making choices for other people and things.
Right. Or you don't allow people to make choices for you. Like, it's kind of like being prepared to wipe the slate clean and know that you're not going to have everything that you had before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. In the last collective, I talked about the phrase of more money, more problems. And I don't believe that has to be a reality. I feel like people who believe more money, more problems didn't get rid of their problems before they got more money.
Right.
And that's really what has been going on, especially in the last 2 episodes. We've been talking about valuing ourselves and knowing who and what is for us, so that you don't get in a place of receiving everything that you've been working so hard for and feeling conflicted or feeling like you have to give it away or maintain the foundation for somebody or something else that is not pouring back into you. Because again, the 6 of Pentacles energy is about, receiving what you put out in some kind of way so that you can remain in this stable place within yourself and within your life. And I will always, testify that numbers and views and attention from people who are not really in your day-to-day life should not hold value over the things and people that are physically there for you, because that can always come and go. I've had thousands of views, and then I've had moments where all of that got taken from me and I was left with what was real. And it also challenged me to know my value and my worth beyond other people showing me that sort of validation or acceptance. Like, you always have to validate yourself, because that's your foundation. That's what you stand on at the end of the day. You have to know that you are worthy and deserving of these things, or the world will literally talk you out of it and tell you that you're not worthy of anything, or that you always have to give it or be in this place of lack in some sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't do it for yourself, you allow a person to take away your moment. Like you said, and you have a lot of followers, but sometimes it can be that one person like, oh, I'm unfollowing you, and try to steal your joy. And it's just like, this wasn't created for you in the first place. And in that one, you gain 10 more.
And it'll just be the craziest thing. Like, somebody's like, oh, well, I'm not going to watch your videos anymore because I don't like your background music. And it's just like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, people are always going to pick and choose what they want. But it's also understanding that some people just play mind games because it's not being able to either handle the success or the foundation that you built for yourself, because they may not be included in it, or it may not look like what they imagined for you. But again, as long as you're clear on the vision for what it is that you seek for yourself, it's staying committed to that and not letting anything come in between that to break it down, right? So what was that speaking on?
In the reverses, was talking about self-sabotage.
Right. Talking yourself out of things for multiple reasons. I mean, that could be within your own insecurities, fears, but it could also be, the opinions and the feelings of people and things outside of you as well. I think I've held myself back in plenty of different ways for many different reasons, without considering how I was going to be left feeling at the end of the day. And so I always encourage people to truly make choices for themselves, because you may have a bunch of people there supporting you as you make that choice, but you're really the only person that's going to have to deal with the experience of that choice and also the consequences that come from it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the energy that we're vibing on today. We do have the sun at the bottom of the deck that is bringing out healing and hope. So you may be in, your cloudy season where it's just really dark and gray. You may feel alone. It may feel cold in one way or another, but the sun is coming out to bring warmth and illuminate everything that you've built and created for yourself. But right now, with this Queen of Cups type of energy, this is about balancing your emotions and getting yourself in a good place so that you can actually enjoy the fruits of your labor. I always used to use the Cardi B example of her doing this interview of saying that she reached this level of success that she was always seeking in life and couldn't enjoy it because it was so much negativity within her comments, and she didn't know how to not focus on the negative comments, and it took away from her enjoying
celebrating her success. Right.
And that stays on my mind so much because it's way easier to focus on what's not going right or what people are saying is not right than staying consistent and focusing on what you believe within yourself. You also have to carry the understanding and the narrative that you are not for everyone, and everything that you do is not for everyone in this world because we're all different. And one thing that has brought me peace within my journey and my path and what I create is knowing that, like, my guidance, my insight, my perspective, my mindset, my morals are only for a certain
small
group
circle
of people,
right?
And so I'm not looking for numbers and views to be out of this world or for me to be number one known or anything like that. I'm here to show up and reach who I'm meant to reach and live within my purpose. And I am living proof that when you stay in alignment with that, God will forever bless you in ways unimaginable, regardless of what people think on the outside.
It's that quality over quantity concept. You just always see quality for yourself. You always get what you deserve.
Yeah, and never let anyone change your perspective on what is valuable to you. Because that's always going to, again, reflect within your reality. And it's no point in choosing things that other people value that you don't, because it's not going to bring you the fulfillment that it would bring them. Yeah. So that was the energy check-in, y'all. Just paying attention again to how you see yourself and not how others see you, because we've all lived in the shadows of other people and their perspective of us, and it took a hell of a lot to get to where we are today, to learn how to stand firmly on our own and see ourselves in a confident, beautiful way. And that's here to stay. So don't let anything discourage you, especially in your moments of feeling stuck or stagnant or hopeless or helpless. Again, everything is for a reason, and most of the time just for a season. So you will get through this, and you will see prosperity and longevity on the other side of the emotional letdowns that you've had to go through in order to get to this freeing place of stability.
Yeah. And that journey won't feel alone for long.
No. God always replaces what you lose along the way. So we love you guys, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.